ladies. Good evening, ladies. How's everyone doing?
Good evening.
Welcome back, Miss Yvonne Barker. We're glad to see your smiling face back with us this evening.
I'm back, buddy. We missed you.
Thank you. I missed you too.
Yes, we did. So, ladies, let's remind our viewing audience out there that this is a silver lining, a conversation with Chris. Guys, please like, share, subscribe, and leave us a comment. You know, we've been getting some comments. We talked about some things last week. So leave us a comment. If there's something that you want us to talk about, focus on, and you're in our age group, because you got to be in our age group. It's not meaningful if it's really not. It's meaningful, but it's more meaningful because we're trying to focus on this stage of our life because we're at another stage in life. You know, the 20s, 30s, and the 40s have passed us by. So we're looking at things a little differently. So please, you know, leave us some comments, give us some feedback. We really do appreciate that. So ladies, this week, listen, so this is a tricky one for us. We're going to talk about the 5 things, and I'm saying it quietly, the 5 things that men say are non-negotiable when they're looking for a wife. And we all would still like, you know, like I said, some of us have been married, others in long-term relationships. We all still would like to get married again. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. So what I want to know is, how do you feel about these 5 things that men say are non-negotiable? And most of them, you know, we know already, but you know, in the past, I don't know that we focused on them. And now it's like, because where we are in this age group, the selection is a lot, you know, slimmer. You know, we have to focus on certain things more than we had to focus on them in the past. So the first thing is, and this is what this gentleman said, and he believes that, you know, this is what most men wants a woman that takes pride in her appearance. And I think that's the easy one. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
I think we all do.
I think we all want to look our best. Take
pride in our dressing, in our appearance. Yes.
I agree. I think that we do that just for ourselves, first of all.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
So they're getting a byproduct of what we already do for ourselves.
That one is important at any age.
Exactly. I agree with you, Wendy. You're absolutely right. And especially because men are visual. You know, I think that's important to them because they're visual. So they want to look at, you know, someone that looks appealing to them. You know,
they want that eye candy.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I don't think you're ever too old to be eye candy, to tell you the truth.
No, I don't.
You know?
Well, you gotta look as good as you can, you know, you gotta keep it together.
Exactly. You are so right, Wendy. So number 2 is, and this is a nice one, wants cooperation from a woman. He wants a cooperative woman.
I hear that one a lot.
No fighting over everything. Nothing. Everything shouldn't be a battle. So basically, when I read that, it sounds like he just wants you to acquiesce. No, I don't want to say that.
Yeah, I feel like he wants a Stepford wife when he gets to that. It
sounds like he just want, you know, the men today just want you to acquiesce. But I genuinely don't believe that. I just thought I needed to say it because it sounded good.
Well,
when you're dating online, that's a big one, right? You see that on just about every post.
Really? On online dating, you do?
Yes.
And you know what? And why is it that men think women are always arguing? Why isn't it that we just want to have a conversation? You want to talk about it, you know? And because they don't want to, you know, have a conversation about it, it bothers us. So we may raise our voice a little bit, and they assume that, you know, we want to argue, and that's not necessarily the case. We really want you just to talk to us. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think that's true. I feel like, first of all, I'm not going to always agree with what the other person is saying. So yes, we do need to have a conversation that we're agreeing upon it. But I mean, I don't think I'm going to get in your face on anything like that, which, you know, a lot of Black men feel that Black women are harsher and harder to deal with.
Yeah, they
And
think we're argumentative, and my thing
yes,
with that is,
yes,
why is it that it has to be argumentative? Why can't they just see that we want to have a conversation about something?
right,
We want to
exactly.
talk it through. You know, what do you think,
True.
Wendy?
I think it goes back to, are we being peace? Are we being peaceful? You know what I mean?
But we can't. But we it might be that we're being peaceful, but why can't we want to have a conversation about it?
I having a conversation or debate, even a healthy debate. I mean, that's all good. I think this we're talking about being combative and argumentative. That's what I'm taking away from it.
No, and so am I. But what I'm saying is, a lot of times, because men want to be objectionable about it, it turns into, our voice may go up a couple octaves, and they automatically assume you're starting an argument, and that's not necessarily the case. So I guess I'm just trying to say, why aren't they able to see from a woman's point of view that you just want to have a conversation, you just want to talk to them? Because I think sometimes they cause the appearance of the woman wanting to be argumentative because they don't want to talk about it.
Right, right.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, hopefully they're listening and they hear us.
Help somebody out, right?
Somebody.
A woman somewhere, a young lady somewhere.
Yes, I mean, I am tired of men thinking that's how we are, because that's not how we are. We want to be on the same plane as our man, but sometimes him saying going left is not really the right way to go. Not necessarily going right, but maybe we need to go straight. And a good woman who loves her man or feels good about him should definitely jump in and say, hey, going left, this is not the right way. I'm really, really sure that we should at least try going straight, without it being an argument. It's just a discussion.
Exactly. It's just a discussion. So that's what I'm saying. I think sometimes they create that aura of it appearing to be an argument because they don't want to address it with us. And we want to, so is it that we should just sit back and not say anything? Is that what we're saying?
No, I'm not that sit back and not say anything person.
Neither am I. So I want to have a conversation. I want you to communicate with me.
Well, again, I like a healthy debate. If we talk about politics, whatever. We gonna disagree, but let's not get mad about it and get blow the belt. And, just keep it light.
Yeah. We just want you to talk to us. That's all. We want you.
That's it.
If you're listening out there, we just want you to talk to us. That's all. We don't want to be arguing and battling.
Combative. Yeah.
We don't want to be confrontational. I mean, I'm not saying that there are no women that are like that, but of course there are. But I think the average woman just wants to be able to have a civilized conversation with her man without him thinking that she's being argumentative because he doesn't want to say anything. That's just not fair. So that's just my 2 cents or 5 cents. The next thing so these are things, remember, that they're saying are non-negotiable. So I don't know how we're doing so far, especially me. Wants to feel wanted by their wife. They want you to operate in your feminine energy. And I love that because you know what? I want to operate in my feminine energy. I want you to be the protector. I want you to be the provider. I want you to be that shelter. I want you to be all of those things. So I'm like all in with that one, 100%.
I agree. I agree. Not much said on that. I agree. Because
and what the gentleman said, he said that a man is a natural provider and a protector. So when you let him just be that, move into that position, everything else should run a little bit smoother. You know what I'm saying? I would like to think that it would. A woman who will take accountability when she is wrong, acknowledge when she's wrong. So men obviously think that women don't think they're ever wrong. It sounds like to me.
I'm not quite sure where this man got all of this stuff from, but I don't feel that I don't feel like everyone does. And I definitely feel like older women are not combative or wants to argue. I think they want a man, they want to be with that man and everything. I don't think that, you know, I know if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm the type of person that probably will go to the grave believing I'm right until you prove me wrong. Then when you prove me wrong, I am the first person that's going to say, I'm sorry, I'm wrong.
Well, at least you're going to acknowledge, because it sounds like to me, I don't know if he's taking a poll of different gentlemen or whatever, different men, but it sounds like they believe that women don't want to admit that they're wrong when they are wrong. What do you think, Wendy? That's what, it sounds like to me.
I was a little surprised by that one.
Oh.
Because I thought that, we were the first to admit that we're wrong. We get the wrong sometimes.
Exactly, because we're the ones that want to try to keep the peace.
Yeah, absolutely. But let me speak for myself. I will speak up if I am wrong. Okay? I will admit that. I have no problem with that. But I know there are people, men and women, who never can say they're sorry and that kind of thing.
Well, I would say
some women feel that makes them weak. They feel weak if oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I did this, I did that. And to me, it's like a man in control of the GPS. And they're going, well, that right should not have been made because you've been to this place before. And he will make that right. And what do? You just sit there, you can't say anything. I mean, these things are like to me, they're not making me exercise my right to speak. Conversation, not a fight, not an argument, but to speak. Hey, babe, I think you shouldn't have made that right. I've been here before, and the GPS always takes you the long way. Let's just go this way. And
and some because when it comes to especially directions, they always think they're right about that. so that's a battle. That's always going to be a battle. So I guess sometimes what it really comes back to is you just have to pick those battles, let him take that right, take you 20 minutes out of the way, and then come back and let's see if he says that he was wrong. Okay.
Some people are never wrong about anything. There are those folks.
And I'm going to tell you,
admit it. Yeah, I should say.
When I was younger, I probably didn't admit that I was wrong as often as I should have. But now, I will. I try to even go back to my friends and, and maybe the next day after I find out that I was wrong, but I'll send a text or something. I'll say, hey, you were right. I was wrong, whatever the case may be. But I think as you get older, that becomes more important because that speaks to your character. It speaks to the person that you are. And obviously, that's important in a man's world. But let me ask you, do you all think that men readily admit when they're wrong?
No, I don't. I definitely don't.
There are men and women who will not ever say they're sorry.
So you're gonna straddle the fence, Wendy. Bonnie said that Bonnie said no, unequivocally no.
Nope.
You're straddling the fence.
I'm not straddling the fence. I don't like to put all men in one bucket. I don't want all women in one,
Right. No, I get it.
Yeah. But I tell you, I'm not going to be that woman that's going to let him go 4 blocks out of the way and come back. That would probably annoy the heck out of me. It could cause an argument with me. It could.
There we go. There's the argument.
Well, that's what you're gonna pick. You gotta pick your battle. So you're gonna choose that battle, Bonnie.
Yes, it is pick your battles. Perfect.
Now I'm gonna let him take me 4 blocks out of the way, and when he turns around to go back the right way and we park, I'll give him the side eye.
Well, you're going to an event, a party, or whatever. Do you want to ruin the whole?
No, right.
Oh, because that, what, that right there will definitely ruin
that will ruin it. You're right. And as a woman of maturity, maybe I gotta let that go. Maybe I could try.
But so let me ask you ladies another question. Do you think that it's women, do you think that women give in more and fall back more than men do?
Yes, I do.
What about you, Wendy? Do you think most men, not all men, but do you think most men? I'm gonna give you that
That's a
caveat.
great question. It just depends on the relationship. You know, sometimes there's one person that gives more in a relationship. The dynamics, you know, there's somebody who gives in more than the other person. Really, to have some equality, it should be on both sides.
I think if it's a strong alpha man, no.
Yeah, you don't think
Definitely
alpha men
no.
give in?
No, not if
No.
it's a strong alpha man. No, I don't think they pull back and no. Mm-mm.
No.
What do you mean by fall back? And give me an example.
Just admitting that they're wrong, that they made a mistake. That's not how it really is. Basically, in a nutshell, just being the one to step back and say, hey babe, you were right. I know there are men that do that, but I think most, because they're egos, I think men never want to be wrong more than women. I do. And I'm just saying, I know that's
Or admitting
general.
it. Or
I
admitting
know
it.
that's general, Wendy, but I just believe that men want to be men because of their position, they're the leader, they're the provider. I think just because of their position,
Their
most
pride.
men, and their pride, they want to be the one that's right most often, from that.
I mean, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That's probably true. It's just about how self-aware is this man?
No, and I like that, Wendy. That's good. Because you have to have an awareness of yourself and who you are in order to be able to be confident enough to come back and say, I was wrong. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely, I like that. That's good.
You know what? I wasn't wrong. I'm not gonna say I was wrong, but I hurt your feelings when I said whatever I said. So I'm sorry for that. I shouldn't have said it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I think that all comes with
Wisdom.
Wisdom. And when you meet someone, if you really share, if you really communicate, if you really talk to each other openly and honestly, I think all of those things are much easier for you to do, for you to admit that you made a mistake, that you were wrong, that the other person was right. When you talk to each other, you know each other, you're honest with each other. I think all those things come much easier. But that's the hard part to get to, is in that place where you're both there at the same time. That's the hard part.
Yes.
I would agree with that.
So number 5 is, and I like this one, and I think that once women realize that this is really important to men, they'll love it. They want you to embrace your feminine energy. They want a woman with class. They want a woman with grace, poise. They want a compassionate woman. They want a confident one. They do want a confident. They want a confident woman. They don't want a know-it-all woman. It's a difference. They want a confident woman who's confident and not intimidated, especially by him or his status. You know what I'm saying? They're comfortable in their own skin, and they appreciate what you bring to the table as the other individual. So they're going to make sure that they got the best perfume on, the last one that you bought them, because they love the way it smells. That, when you get ready to go out, that you're looking your best, that when he looks over at you, he sees everybody else looking at you. He knows that you came, you didn't come to play. You came to make him look good. Because that's really what it comes down to.
Game on.
Yeah, you think about it. And is that not really what it is, making them look good? It's more about making them look good. I hate to say that.
It is, but we do it because we do it for ourselves, like you said before. When we know we're going out with our man, we're going to get dressed. We're going to look nice. We're going to put those shoes on he likes. We're going to put that fragrance on that he likes. We're going to be that eye candy that he likes.
No, you're right.
And most of it is this, we want to do it for ourselves. When I look in the mirror, I want to be that woman, so his eyes don't
wander.
Okay.
Very good point, Lonnie. Very good point. Look your best so that his eyes stay on you and not on someone else.
Exactly.
And that's why I think that if women really really focused on that and believe that men felt that way, that's the fun part of it. You know what I mean? That's just the fun part of it, because I think that I think that a woman with class is automatically going to be graceful. I think that a compassionate woman is automatically going to be a nurturing woman. You know what I mean? So some of those things kind of go hand in hand together.
Okay, can I ask you guys a question?
Sure, absolutely.
With the list? Are we done with do men want a woman like their mom?
Yeah, one. Okay.
Like their mom, you said?
Like their mom.
I think so. Some men do, yes. And I'll tell you why, because I've been in relationships where I've met the mother and I try to look to see if I'm anything like the mother. I do. I think we all do that.
That's confirmation for you.
What's that?
That's confirmation for you. If the mother is kind of like you, then that's some kind of
No, it's only confirmation if he has a very good relationship with his mother.
True.
Okay, it's only if he has a really good relationship with his mother. If he doesn't have a good relationship with his mother, that might be a red flag that there's going to be a trigger at some point in the relationship that's going to turn him off from me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not necessarily, but that definitely could be the case in some relationships.
I like that. Saturday I went to get an oil change, and I went up to the guy, the keys and all of that stuff, and he said, "Why does it smell like my grandmother in here?" I said, "I smell like your grandmother?" I took it as an insult, right? I was like, "I smell like your grandmother?" He said, No. You don't understand. My grandmother, she used to do hair in the back of the house, and the fragrances from whatever she was using, you brought it back to me with whatever aroma that you're wearing." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
A hair aroma?
I don't know, but that's what he told me.
It makes sense.
I ain't even had no oil sheen on. I had something called Black Woman on. So
they love Black woman.
Black Woman, okay?
Heard of Black Woman, Chris? You heard of that?
Go ahead, Wendy.
Have you heard of Black Woman?
Have I heard of it?
It's a fragrance.
It's a fragrance.
Oh no, I haven't. So that may have reminded
me. They love Black Woman.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute. I'm not up.
It's an oil. It's an oil. It's just oil.
I was into the pink sugar. That was mine.
Okay. So Black Woman it's an essential oil?
It's an oil. I actually won it one year and I just wore it. And then I actually saw it recently and someone bought it for me. But I could tell you, I come in that store and they're like, "Ooh, Miss Yvonne, do you have on a new fragrance? Ooh, oh, you smell so good." And I was like, "Strong Black woman, honey."
Oh, I need to find me some Black Woman.
My sister asked one of her coworkers, "What is that scent you're wearing?" And she said, "Black Woman." She was just being, Yeah, that's a real fragrance color.
Okay, so where can I find that at?
I saw a girl. There's the top.
Them hair salon places, where they sell hair and stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go buy some of that because I never heard of that. I think I need some of that. Well, look, Bonnie, but that's a positive to me in terms of how he felt about his grandmother, because he probably loved being at her house at that time when she was back doing hair. He was just sitting down, chilling. The fragrance was coming out. So you reminded him of something. That reminded him of something positive. That's good. Did you freeze, Bonnie?
Did I freeze?
No,
you froze.
You froze.
Yeah, no, I said that was positive because you reminded him of something good.
Yes. After he explained it, because I don't want nobody saying I remind them of their grandmother. I'm like,
because you know why, guys, and I know you've heard this before. People will say how their grandmother's house had that old smell and whatnot.
Yes, exactly.
Or their perfume was always kind of rosy, kind of flowery or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's it's not flowery at all.
So I have to definitely get some of that. Hey, so ladies, I wanted to remind everybody out there the 10 attributes when a man asks you to tell him about yourself. So does anybody want to give those 10 attributes so that women can remember not to just say, oh, I'm a hard worker. Oh, I'm a good cook,
Right.
does anyone want to go over those 10 attributes? Anyone got them in front of them? I mean, I do.
Yeah, I do.
All right. So
Just descriptive attribute, I can't even say it. Anyway, creative, dependable, flexible, open-minded, honest, supportive, energetic, reliable, loving, nurturing, and loyal.
and you know what? If you think about what the men say the 5 things are that are non-negotiable, all of these words kind of fit somewhere
Into that.
into
Mhm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
All of these words kind of fit somewhere into one of those 5. So it kind of all comes back full circle, and it does end up making sense. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
so basically, these are the important things to them, and they're looking for those things when you talk about who you are and what kind of person you are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how everything comes back together, full circle.
Yes, it does.
So, ladies, anything special on your mind this evening?
Well, let me say this. I did ask one friend about if they had a friend
Okay.
that they would introduce me to, and they were like, no. They were like, no. They were like, oh, my friends are such and such an age and such an age. And I don't think. I said, well, don't they have some fathers or uncles or something?
I know, right? Hey, well, maybe we need to look at it at a different angle. Maybe we need to be outgoing. And depending on where we are, if we're out, and I know we're not going out as much as we used to because of COVID and all of that right now, but maybe we need to rely on ourselves, see how outgoing we can be to strike up a conversation, maybe to
I mean,
see
we gotta do that anyway.
what's
Right.
that.
Do that anyway. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to relying on, because a lot of us, like you said last week, Bonnie, or somebody said, even with our friends, we're all in the similar boat, together. Because I've had friends say that they want to introduce me to someone, but the guy lives out of town, when he comes into town. I mean, I don't really want to meet anyone. I'll be honest, where I've got to travel or they have to travel, because
Right.
that can become a strain as well, especially if you end up really liking someone. So I hate to say, I'd rather meet someone in closer proximity to where I am. So those meetings have not taken place yet because of that. And it's more because of me than anything else. So anything else, ladies? Any other thoughts?
I think we should just be open, even if your friend wants to introduce you to somebody out of town. Just be open. Just go. You know what I mean? Let's just be open.
Okay, I can do that. I can do that. Well, so this gentleman is coming into town early part of next year. I know that. So I will be open. I didn't say no 100%. I just kind of said, well, long distance relationship.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait,
I understand that completely.
wait. She said, well, how do you know it's gonna be a relationship? What do you?
You jumped the gun. You jumped the gun.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. I know. I was pretty presumptuous.
It could be the best date of your life.
Right.
No, and you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Before we leave, since we're talking about that and dating, has anyone ever been on a blind date?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been on a blind date where you ended up dating the person?
Yes. Yes. And it was blind to the fact that I only talked to the person over the telephone for a week, and I still didn't know anything like how they looked or whatever,
You froze, Bonnie.
So when we talked for a week, and then we decided to meet. And
Uh-huh.
yes, it became a relationship. Yeah.
What about you, Wendy?
I've been introduced to some people, but blind date. No, I don't think any of them turned into a relationship. Not blind. No.
I have only had one blind date in my entire life. And I was in college and when I had this blind date. So I went to FIT, and FIT is located on West 27th Street. In front of one of the main buildings, they have these large pillars, right? So my girlfriend she lives in Brooklyn, right? We were all going to go out to dinner and dancing after in the evening, right? So, of course I asked the guy, because she gave me his phone number and gave him my phone number. We kind of called each other. So I asked him what was he going to be wearing? And he asked me what I was going to be wearing. And I lied about what I was going to be wearing.
So you can know what he looked like.
So wait a second. So I stood behind one of the large pillars at the in front of the school, right? Around the time he said he was going to be coming. So I didn't like what I seen. So
very deceptive.
And back in the school.
Yes.
I ran back into school and I was looking outside.
You stood him up. Somebody introduced you. It was a blind date.
I stood him up. Wait a second. He was standing out.
Then she ghosted him. And then she ghosted him after that.
Wow.
I'm not going to tell you so that everyone else people will think I'm shallow because I'm not really shallow. Like I said, that was when I was in college. So that's many years ago. I would never do, maybe I was shallow back then, but I would never do that again. But I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why later. Well, all right, folks, listen, it is time. It is our time. We just want to remind you, please like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment. We really would like to hear from you. And, we have fun every weekend. We like to laugh. We like to talk.
Yes.
We just want you to join in with us. Send us some information, anything that you want us to discuss. We'd be more than happy to do it. Ladies, you got any parting words?
Nope.
Not really.
Have a great week.
All right, everybody. Wendy said, have a great week. Have a wonderful week. We will see you all next weekend with some more exciting topics, something to keep the energy going, because I think keep the energy going. All right, everyone. Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye.